I am the salt of the earth, as it is written in Matthew 5, verse 13. You are the salt of the earth, but if the salt loses its saltiness, how can it be made salty again? It is no longer good for anything except to be thrown out and trampled underfoot. Salt. One of the most essential minerals on Earth, it plays a critical role in human health, daily life, and even the stability of our planet's climate. In the human body, salt regulates fluid balance, supports nerve function, and enables muscle contraction. Likewise, the saline levels of our oceans are vital to balancing the Earth's complex climate, impacting ocean currents and influencing air temperatures, rainfall, and weather patterns across continents. Salt is used to preserve food, and its unique taste enhances the flavors of cooking. For centuries, it has been valued not only as a seasoning and preservative, but also as a vital element in religious rituals, trade, and even warfare. In ancient times, the movement and growth of entire civilizations often followed the salt trade. Salt routes determined where roads were built, where cities were established, and how empires expanded. Salt was strategic, an essential resource that shaped the flow of history. Here's a fun fact. Roman soldiers were provided a salarium, an allowance to purchase salt. This is where the modern word salary comes from. From ancient civilizations to today, salt remains a symbol of value, purity, and necessity. So how does this apply to us as believers whom Jesus calls the salt of the earth? In everyday language, calling someone the salt of the earth usually means they are good, honest, and dependable. And someone who is competent and effective at what they do can be said to be worth their salt. But when Jesus called his followers the salt of the earth, he wasn't speaking about being trustworthy or diligent, although these are behaviors that Christians are expected to embody. Being the salt of the earth is much more than these. It speaks to our divine purpose and influence in the world. 1. We preserve goodness and enhance relationships. Let your speech always be gracious, seasoned with salt, so that you may know how you ought to answer each person. Colossians 4, verse 6. As followers of Christ, our words should preserve unity, peace, and truth. As salt brings balance to a meal, our speech should bring balance and wisdom to conversations. As salt brings out the best flavors in food, we are called to also bring out the best in people in every interaction and relationship, uplifting those we encounter and reflecting the character of Christ and the goodness of God. We speak peace, not war, love, not hate, truth, not lies. In a world that is often decaying from sin, we are the preserving agents, called to preserve God's truth, sharing it far and wide, and bringing freedom to those who are bound. Our presence on earth should be a barrier against moral decay, standing for justice, purity, and holiness. 2. As believers, we carry the weight of reminding the world of God's unbreakable covenant with his people. You shall season all your grain offerings with salt. You shall not let the salt of the covenant with your God be missing from your grain offering. Leviticus 2, verse 13. Christians point humanity toward the covenant-keeping God and the salvation and reconciliation he offers to all through Christ Jesus. We should live our lives in a way that draws people to God. And just like Abraham, we stand in the gap interceding for God's creation, so the earth is made more acceptable because of our presence. 3. We should influence the development and direction of society, not passively, but intentionally. Just as the development of civilization often followed the salt trade, Christians should be at the forefront of thought and societal development, bringing the wisdom, love, and truth of God into every sphere of influence: science, education, technology, government, art, business, and culture, shaping the future with integrity and divine insight. This means stepping into places of influence, innovation, and thought leadership, with the confidence that God's truth is not outdated, but eternally relevant and powerfully transformative. We should be the thinkers, builders, and peacemakers who shape society for the glory of God and the good of all people. As Jesus also cautioned us, we must be intentional about preserving our saltiness, our distinctiveness, our influence, and our godly character. Salt that loses its flavor becomes worthless. In the same way, when we compromise our values or neglect our spiritual growth, we diminish our effectiveness as God's witnesses. If we lose the very essence that sets us apart, we are no longer fulfilling our purpose and risk becoming, as Jesus said, good for nothing except to be thrown out and trampled underfoot. I am the salt of the earth. I preserve God's truth. I enhance the lives of those I encounter, and I reflect the eternal covenant God offers to humanity. I will live up to my responsibility to influence the world for Christ, stand for righteousness in every sphere of influence, and remain spiritually vibrant and true to my faith and Christian values.
Thank you for being part of this series. May each affirmation inspire you to walk in the fullness of God's promises and blessings. Subscribe to the channel and check out the other affirmations in the series. There is so much more to explore, and we want to continue this journey with you. Turn on your notifications so you know when a new video is released.
Stay connected, stay encouraged, and as you follow this series, may you be richly blessed and deeply empowered for the life God has called you to live. See you in the next video.